for a very long time. I would have to explain to people, yes, I'm from Guayanilla. And people would not even know where Guayanilla was. And people even from the island, I would have to go to a map and point out my town. And all I kept thinking is, I guess I don't ever have to do that again.
Rosa Cruz is the Outreach and Partnership Manager at CUNY's Center for Puerto Rican Studies, also known as Centro. She's also a native of Guayanilla, Puerto Rico, the city at the epicenter of the devastating earthquakes that have been rocking Puerto Rico since earlier this year.
January 7th, I received a phone call from my father. He was crying on the phone, and he was telling me all this destruction. And specifically, he tells me our church is gone. There was nothing left. There was 4 walls standing and very little left. And in my house, that's very important because my father was very involved in the church. My aunt was a nun. So, the church is very important in my family.
The Puerto Rican diaspora is also very important to Rosa and Centro. And one of the organizations that can help rebuild Rosa's church, as well as other hard-hit areas, is Comité Noviembre, a nonprofit that Centro has partnered with, which organized the Estoy con Puerto Rico initiative, a Puerto Rico earthquake relief effort.
I've been a member of Comité Noviembre for the past 3 years. As soon as the earthquake hit, we talked and we said, we need to do something. And so we started the fundraising campaign because we realized that it's really hard to bring materials down to Puerto Rico and all the costs involved in bringing these supplies and donations that people want to give. I really think it's going to be different when I see it for myself. I have been trying to prepare myself for that.
Nothing could really prepare Rosa for when she first arrived in her beloved hometown. She was visibly stunned by the damage. After acclimating herself to what she was seeing, Rosa and the team at Centro got to work and organized the donated items.
We brought everything that we brought from New York in the heavy suitcases, and we put them out into bins to make it easier for the doctor to be able to have access to exactly what she needs.
Rosa also stopped to see her church and made time to visit family and friends so she could assess their living conditions for herself.
We shouldn't be in this hole, people. They've been told by the military that the house needs to be completely demolished. A beautiful 2-story house where 5 members of the family live. And now the question is, what are they going to do next?
Rosa told me that her family will have to rebuild, like several other families in damaged neighborhoods. Rosa returned to New York in early March, right before the U.S. onset of the coronavirus, and shared with me what she had just witnessed in Puerto Rico.
How did you feel about going back?
I knew what to expect. I had seen photos. My family had sent photos. So we drove in and we saw all the destruction. We first saw the church that my family has attended forever. Then we drove closer to the house where we saw streets blocked because it was impossible to pass with the bricks and the debris in the middle of the street. So it was very sad going into the town. I'm happy that I'm able to be part, even if in the smallest way, of the recovery and the rebuilding.
What can Puerto Ricans teach the world about resiliency, especially in the face of the pandemic we're experiencing right now?
I always knew the Puerto Ricans were resilient. I know my family. I know how resilient Puerto Ricans can be. But at this point, financial crisis, viruses before this virus, 2 hurricanes, and an earthquake. And here they are still moving forward saying, we will rebuild. We are not leaving home. And that is very inspiring.